just said something about a corporation. I think I should just link up with what I have here. I was doing some research and I came across one guy it's an Iranian, was formed what they call the Children of Egg Group, and he's Kamal Almasi. It beats my imagination to know that he's doing anything of that nature in Iran, because I heard that other than Islam, there is no other, call it religious or spiritual group there. But it seems this Children of Egg Group, which is like a splinter group from the corporation, operates there in spite of any restrictions. So I was asking myself, why can the new presentation not function there without any fear of persecution? So let me read some excerpts of a Facebook post, which he titled Elucidation about the Performance of the Children of Egg. And it was posted as early as the 12th of November. So that is last week. Well, it has broad implications and there is much to learn from it. So he says, he has made very pointed criticisms here. He said the razor system is not a spiritual system. It is a controller system created to control Eckists and also to inject Harrow's position as a Mahanta to Eckists. They don't care about Eckankar's teachings. They are some of Harrow's mercenaries and just trying to protect Harrow's interests, not Eckankar spiritual benefits. On the other hand, there are some new Eckists who are deceived by Harrow's seemingly humble face. He fits through their spiritual feelings and their money. We were like that. We were like you many years ago, and we had love and prejudice for Harrow like you. Therefore, Children of Egg performance is a normal thing. You may see some unusual behaviors from us, but the truth is, of our work is deeper than these unusual behaviors. Harold is only a major problem. He has brought his personality to the worship level. He's an obstacle to the light fall of the Mahanta. He has lost the Mahanta, the inner master, many years ago. We respect Darwin, but we don't consider him a master as well. That he was an honest man and really loved Paul and Eck. Therefore, some who are protesting against us should contact the Harrow religious organization, ask these questions in a rational way. Why is the story of Children of X? What is the story of the Children of X $15,000? I think that's the money they contributed. Even if it's a donation, why don't you return it? Why don't you answer their phone calls and emails? I am sure they won't give you a reasonable answer either. Maybe they should give you a notice. It is natural. You might be afraid of such notice. This is Harrow's spirituality. So Children of Egg warns everyone who promotes Harrow in Facebook, we will be a serious obstacle for you. Also other places on the internet, we will seriously prevent you from doing so. Harrow sold the Iranian Eckists community to the Iranian government years ago and left them behind. Children of X suffered torture and imprisonment during these years. In the year 2000, Harrow said that the ban on Iranian membership is for their safety, but the Children of X proved that he is lying. Now, we ask Harold a few questions. How you, Harold, agreed with Iranian donations to support the Mahanta's mission project in 2016 to 2018. Iranians paid over $15,000 in donations. There are some payment receipts on my page. I leave a link at the end of the article. Mr. Harrow, Iranian safety was just about banning them from getting a membership. Wasn't it about paying the donation? Every organization and institution, even churches and schools, apart from receiving donations or not, provide services. Well, Mr. Harold, what services did you give Iranians for $15,000, like books, discourses, satsangs, workshops, and all? Now you don't even answer children of egg phone calls. Well, every deed has its own consequences, and you will receive. And then in a statement again by the Children of Egg Institution dated 10th of November, that is last week too, Kamal Almasi says, according to the research and the actual documents of the Children of Egg Institute, Harold is a fraudster. The policy of the Children of Egg Institution does not recognize Harold Clem as a master or a prophet, according to the spiritual laws of Egg. His religious organization is fraudulent with the sole purpose of being a business to gain money while exploiting the spiritual feelings of the Eckists community towards Egg. The Harold religious organization does not have the right to use the name Eckankar and any of its associated commercial ownership. The Eckankar religious organization does not have the right to use the credibility of the masters, especially Paul Twitchell, Reza Taz, Shams Tabrizi, and others. The religious organization of Eckankar should refrain from receiving membership fees and seminar fees. The Eckankar religious organization must remove Harold Clem from the Eckankar temple building in Minnesota. It's been many years since he worked at a job and now gets his money as a fraudster through membership fees and the income of the Eckankar organization. The Children of Egg Institution is launching an office in Nigeria. If the Eckankar organization does not evict Harold Clem, we will legally close down the Eckankar offices in Nigeria with valid documents. So my own comment here is that when Nigeria falls, means a large part of the Eckankar edifice must have been lost. So then I leave you to comment on this.
Okay, Charles. Well, that's wow. That's interesting, and also that you found this because you are to handle this. Okay, so it's not something that you're reading about. It's how you will creatively step up. And what the fella said was very well said. Yes, it was. But there's the missing link, and that is it's really not so much about Harold because he really doesn't know what he's doing on stage. He's told. That's why he has notes. It's about Joni. All right. Joni controls and taplines everything because she's reptilian. And that's why she chose Susan Miller and others, because they're all a band of witches together. So the thing is that here's your challenge and adventure, young man, to let him know what's really going on and to contact him and to see what happens with all this. You see?
Yeah. In fact, I was very impressed with the criticisms, and I posted some of our information on that page, and to my consternation, it was deleted. I did two postings there. The first one I sent a notebook PDF link. The comment was that they could not open it. Then I just copied the whole text, some of the short pieces of writing, and I posted there with all the links and references for anybody who reads to follow up. And when I came back there, I reserved that to make a commentary on that during this meeting. When I came back there, I checked about an hour ago, or less than an hour ago, it had been deleted. So, well, they are coming through their own process gradually, realizing at their own pace. But I think their realizations would be faster, and their awareness will be faster and more to the point if they link up with the new presentation. So, what do you think, Duane?
Well, that's a step, Charles, but it's kind of like giving a 5-year-old the novel War and Peace. All of a sudden, the kid's not going to know what to do with it. So I would suggest, from what he said about Harold and the organization, start off very simple and explain to him what has taken place over the years, with what's going on with Darwin and Harold, etc., and how Joni was in the background manipulating all this since the day Paul left. Okay, this has all been premeditated, and he will have his own experiences with this, but you give him an explanation, a gradual explanation, personally, and start from there instead of just throwing things at him that, again, it's going to take them a while to understand what we're presenting here. It really will, even though it's very simple. It's all about the all-natural environment, which is the whole of life. But this is a different angle of what is taking place. So I would personally address him first and then correspond some things back and forth, because you were in the corporation. Start off there, okay? Just like a new neighbor in the neighborhood. All right. So you just don't bring your Bible over and tell them what is what. You casually go over there and, have a little talk with them and say, welcome to the neighborhood. What's going on? Where are you from? Something like that, Charles.
Yes, I would do that, because I see he had the courtesy to reply at first. And then on that very page, I see a lot of the let me call them the very top lines Eckists. They take offense that their defenses have been invaded. They say they don't know what the moderators are doing. They are allowing all kinds of comments into their groups that denigrate the Mahanta and say all kinds of bad things about Ek. The moderators or the people in charge are either accomplices or to this vilification or something like that, or they actually want to contribute to the downfall of the egg, or else they will not allow such commentaries and discussions to take place within the egg circles. So from that, I got the inkling that it is gradually crumbling within their ranks. It's a gradual implosion from within, and it would take some monumental proportions not long from now. Remember, when I just met you, I commented about the situation in Nigeria. I told you how a big edifice there was ripped off. The roof was completely redone and something like that by a master mason, which I think it was you. And the edifice was redone and took a new shape. And so look at what is happening now. Yeah, the new wind is blowing so fiercely that even the children of Ek are promising hell to anyone who promotes Eckankar anywhere on the internet, and then promising that they will tear down Eckankar Nigeria. So we see that gradually forming. Yeah.
It's not so much about the eradication of what we see as the organization of Eckankar. Again, look at the Christians for 2,000 years. No matter what has taken place, it's still there. See, so Eckankar will be there. Someone will have it somewhere, someday, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's Joni, if somebody else, if she passes on, she still has her, in the other world, she'll have her connection and her tap lines, because that's her intent. And Harold himself, he wants Eckankar. That's he's obsessed with the whole thing because he is the king, etc. And that's all fine. That's not the idea, waiting for the building to fall or whatever, etc. The idea is that to give these people an opportunity to really wake up from what they've known, what they've been embedded with. So again, it's not about, oh, we're going to knock them down or this or that. It's kind of like in the movie Braveheart and other movies you've seen of the old Gothic days where, there's big wars, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of soldiers on the battlefield with swords, and they all charge at each other, and all of a sudden they're sword fighting, whatever. After a while, it's how can you recognize what is what or who is who? And I wonder how many individuals killed their own people, etc., just through those battles. They're so complicated, etc. So this is where it gets to be really funny, and that is that simply stand back and take a look at it, and how would you creatively proceed? And so this is what I did as I started the new presentation. After I wrote the books, after I basically wrote them and still edited them many times, I could see that, this is too much for the world, for what has taken place, what the world has come to know, etc. So I came roundabout in a different way, saying the same thing, but more in a parable way, which is the all-natural environment, and focusing on that because it is being destroyed very rapidly, and more so right now. And then to implement things accordingly to gradually introduce people to what we're doing, because it's way too much for the world. So again, when you just throw it out there. So the latest image that we created, and I sent it to you and others, is about the fire victims, because there are so many in the world. And it's a step for them to see something else, to where, they see that we know something. And there's a lot of other people too that know this, of course, but we have something that they don't. And so we're just simply, putting it out there in a particular way. So again, I'm not here to watch the Eckankar Empire fall. That's not it. Because it's made up of individuals that keep agreeing to the idea of Eckankar. That's all it is an idea. Okay, it's got a building, and the building's just an idea too. And it's not about that. And so the procession will be just like protesters or whatever, the Eckists or what have you, and these people are implying that, okay, they're going to shut down Eckankar, Nigeria, and whatever. Okay, well, this is the road that they've decided. And kind of the boys always step back and watch this and see, what each person is going to do. And then when there's an opportunity, they may demonstrate something to them, because it is a lot, because their intent is focused on that. And you can see that, in the past, Ava and I made a lot of images about Harold and whatever, but we weren't fighting them. Harold and Joni, we weren't fighting them. We were just simply warning people about what's taking place. Well, of course, they took it as an attack, but it wasn't an attack at all. There was no intent of that at all. There was no intent to or agenda to do battle with them, but to just simply say, hey, take a look at the real side. And I would use Paul and Rebazar to just go ask them what's going on now. Well, of course, most of them didn't want to do that because they were emotionally attached to Harold, because Joni's done a very fine job of marketing Harold as the icon. And here are some people that finally see it. They've come through the tunnel to a position. And so at this point, you know, they're very vulnerable to many things because in their own way, they're still attached to Eckankar. You can see because they're the children of Ek. So they're still attached to the Eckankar idea, whatever that is, even though they're supposedly blocking and battling the Eckists, but it's all the same thing. So this is a physical astral confrontation, isn't it? It's not one about awareness. That makes the difference. So you have the awareness, Charles, and if this comes around to me or whatever, sure, I'll say or do something about it. But all of a sudden, again, you have Africa, it's specifying Africa, so you have a lot to do. And also on Facebook, some of those people, those individuals that were with Miriam, are posting constantly new pictures of themselves and taking a stand with the new presentation and the books, etc. I don't know if you've seen that, but I see it every day as I go on Facebook and share and do groups, etc. The Africans are there, and so they're always looking for something too. And again, you and Miriam, the new leaders, and they would have more confidence with what's going on. But again, it's awareness. We're not into watching what is going to take place with Eckankar. It's like the U.S. government and the governments of the world. They're still going to be there, all right? No matter what happens, no matter who's the new president or whatever, it ain't going to change. It is what it is. So we're dealing with the awareness here of the individuals one step at a time, aside from these personal ideas, okay? We deal with that too, but we use the awareness to creatively bring something forth. And again, I'm looking at the world and what's going on. So again, the latest thing is the fire victims. And so set it up with Kelsey and the kids because they are the future here, and with their numbers. And, you know, as people call in, because people don't know what to do. You know, they don't know what's going on. It's like, why did my house burn? Why is this? So we're at least putting it out there, something that makes sense with what's going on with the world, you see. And so I would comment on an understanding and take on the challenge. I could do it myself, but it's up to you. You have the awareness to tell them what's going on and that they don't need to do that because they're using up a lot of their energy and placing themselves in a position of being beaten and attacked also, and tap line. You see, they're opening themselves up to that by the very fact of what they're doing. So you do it in a way to where that doesn't occur. Otherwise, it's just going to be a lot of havoc. And what's going to happen? The authorities are going to come in and they're going to decide, oh, well, you people don't know what you're doing, so we'll decide for you. That can happen, can it?